Hopefully you can hear me sitting back by the fireplace. Above, I'm watching Netflix Inside Job. This is going to be quick. I am now in Atlanta, Georgia. It is November the 8th, Monday, November the 8th. It is 10:37. That's 10:10, I say. Um, I am all moved out of the DC area. And I was in Greenville for a week since last Tuesday, a little bit under a week. And now I am in Atlanta because the job that I definitely manifested and worked hard to get pushed me back to next Monday. Next Tuesday, actually. Next Monday is my birthday. So while I'm feeling good about Scorpio season brings in a lot of purging, and it brings in a lot of heavy energy nonetheless. Unless you've been sitting under a rock, there's been very heavy energy. Even in the fake news, there has been heavy energy in our own homes and families, in our individual selves. And it's definitely because the Sun, Mercury, and Mars are now in Scorpio. It is my moon in Capricorn. The moon in Capricorn is a heavy moon. It's a unbothered moon, an emotionalist moon. The moon represents our emotions, and me having a Capricorn moon, even as having a Sun in Scorpio and a Venus in Scorpio and a Uranus in Scorpio, it's like I balance with my Libra rising sign, my Libra ascendant. I balance all my Scorpio energies. Sometimes I'm toxic. Sometimes I'm good. Sometimes I'm evolving, which is the Scorpio energy. So anyway, long story short, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I'm only going to talk about one specific transit, which is Mercury conjunct Mars right now. As I said, we call this Scorpio season because the sun is in Scorpio for 30 days and it moves to the next sign for 30 days. All the signs stay in, the sun signs stay in the sun for 1 month, 30 days. The other signs, especially the moon, they move at different times. The moon is every 2 days. So the Capricorn moon ends tomorrow evening, I believe. Long story short, Mercury in Scorpio and Mercury in Mars. So Mercury moves like every 3 weeks. Mars is about every 6 weeks. They are conjunct, which means they're at the same degree. Right now, because they are conjunct, they are at, they both just entered Scorpio. So I would say they're in the first decan, meaning they're in between 0 and 9 degrees. So let me get the exact degree. Mercury in Scorpio is at 5 degrees, 8 minutes. Mars is in Scorpio at 6 degrees, 26 minutes. So they're slowly but surely separating the conjunction. The conjunction can last for about 2 degrees. So once Mars has moved to 7 degrees, which should be in like the next few days, this energy will weaken. However, Mercury being the planet of communication and Mars being the planet of energy and action, this can mean lots of talk and lots of action, okay? Me personally, I have a Mars in Leo, which is a fire sign. Mars in Leo is lit. Mars in Leo, any fire sign in Mars. Mars rules Aries, which is a fire sign, and Mars rules Scorpio. So Mars is at home in Scorpio, which makes it even more potent. Scorpio is a water sign, but Scorpio can be like boiling water, literally, or it can be like ice, freezing. It's the extreme parts of water, okay? Mars in Scorpio is an intense Mars. Not as intense as Aries in Mars, because Mars is a fire planet, but it's definitely intense. It's depth. Now, Mercury being the communication planet, how we speak, how we learn, how we get knowledge, information. The information is intense right now. So, using myself as an example, coming right out of a Mercury Mars incident, let's just call it that, in my personal life. Just got to Atlanta. It's been 24 hours. Has it been 24 hours? No, I got here yesterday morning, so 36 hours. A little bit, almost 2 days, right? 2 days tomorrow morning. Last night, and this is so weird, y'all, because I have always felt that I'm not close to my fellow water signs. I'm not close to Cancer and Pisces anymore. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because the planets above are different than they were years ago when I was close to Cancers and Pisces. But I just can't get it right with Cancers and Pisces lately. So I tried. You know, Cancers are very loving. My daughter's a Cancer. She's about the only one that I can get close to. Just like my Mars in Aries. My Moon in Aries oldest daughter is the only Taurus I can get close to, because Taurus and Scorpios have love and hate too. But my Mercury in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio, not my personal one, but the one that's going on right now, above us all, giving the same energy to us all, right? Jumped out there and met a Cancer that I've been talking to online. Okay. Great conversation. You know, me being hypersexual. Let's just keep it real. I warned him, said, you know, I like open relationships, not very monogamous. I know Cancer's like loyalty, and I definitely can be loyal, but I'm also upfront. Again, this Mercury and Scorpio energy sparking my Mercury and Sagittarius energy, and Mercury in Sagittarius is at its detriment, meaning it's at its worst, it's at its weakest. Because sometimes I feel like I can't express myself well. And when I do, especially when Mercury is in Scorpio and that energy is coming on top of me, I say the wrong things, but I say it intensely wrong. So, last night we met, good conversation. I'm horny, okay? I haven't done it since July. Let's just keep this real. Keep this away from your kids, because I'm going in. I haven't done it since last July. He, being a Cancer gentleman, was like, I don't want to do it. However, nobody was forced, and we did it. Today is a problem. Today is, oh, sex ruins everything, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not feeling it. I'm like, I told you I wanted to do it. You didn't stop me. You pulled it out. I didn't pull it out for you. You put it in. That's how sex goes, right? Now it's me being intense, like, okay, we had a good conversation. I did hear you when we were talking before we met about you just got out of a relationship. You want to take it slow. Perfect, fine, right. But I wasn't honest with myself. He was honest with me, saying he didn't want to do it, but he did, right? Beautiful area we did it in. Took the opportunity, because being around kids all the time, I don't get to do it. Did it by waterfalls. Perfect for water signs. But, and that was that Mars and Scorpio energy. Let me just keep that clear too. Mars is the action taking planet. Scorpio's action is sex. And if it's not, it's some kind of intense energy. Okay? So, we just got into an argument about how I was not sensitive to his feelings, his past relationships that I don't know nothing about, because I don't want to talk about your past relationships like I don't want to talk about mine. I want to talk about how we can build together. I see that I could have done this differently. I could not have been so insensitive. but it got so Cancer moody-ish, Cancer, the low Cancer energies, okay? Like the low Scorpio energies are what I gave to. Let's just keep it real. I'm definitely going to take fault for how I express myself. But if I can be honest, which is Mercury in Scorpio, and I can't take action on my honesty to show you what you're dealing with, which is what I wanted you to show me, I'm glad this transit happened. Because this transit is not for the weary, it's not for the weak. It's actually to weed out the weak and weary. It's actually for those that want to elevate on the higher levels of their sign. Whether you're Scorpio, Cancer, water signs, earth signs, whoever wants to get on the higher level intensely. I don't think we have any trines this week because trines are quick energy. But intensely getting to that elevated state of what Scorpio energy can put you in. Scorpio energy will give you the hard truths that will elevate you to the level you never thought you could reach. But if you fight that, the Scorpio energies will take you to the deep, dark, shadowy parts of the water, of the ocean. It'll swallow you whole. If you don't believe me, let me just read what Time Passages says about this transit. Mars is the action planet, energy and motivation, and spends about 7 to 8 weeks in each sign, unless retrograde. So I said 6, but it's 7 to 8. Okay. Mars is in Scorpio. With Mars in Scorpio, for you. Oh, I'm just reading Mars in Scorpio. Sorry. Let me go back to the transits. Mars conjunct. So conjunct means blended energies too. So it's like Mercury and Mars are having a conversation about the action that they're going to take. And that's what happened today. I had a conversation and I took action. All right. Mercury in strong conjunction with Mars. So the strongest blend of energies represented by these two planets, one of the strongest. Mercury is the planet of communication, and Mars is the planet of energy and drive. With Mercury conjunct Mars, thoughts are more assertively expressed. Your mind is likely to be more alert. This is an opportune time to use courage to back your convictions or handicrafts. Please put in the comments what handicrafts are so I don't have to look it up. Okay. But your convictions. So, like, I constantly told him that I was not going to continue to lie to myself. I constantly told him that I have to tell you the truth. I have to tell you the truth about last night because you can't evolve and I can't evolve if we can't be truthful to each other. Okay? It becomes easy to put thoughts into actions. That's very true. It becomes easy in Mercury and Scorpio to say what you mean. I know a friend of a friend who has Mercury and Scorpio that I'm waiting to do the birth charts because I'm trying to get the time for this person. But I noticed that he has a Mercury in Scorpio. He has a Sun in Scorpio. And because he has a Mercury in Scorpio, he's a tell it like it is type person too. Intensely. Now, I don't have to have a Mercury in Scorpio to be intense because that Sun in Scorpio that I have is intense enough. Especially the Uranus in Scorpio that I have is intense enough too. Opposing the current Uranus in Taurus. That's another story though. But Mercury and Mars are like brothers. And brothers are strong together and brothers are going to fight for the family. Okay? Hopefully y'all are following me with this, but when Mercury and Mars are blending their energies, like the last sentence when it said, and I'll try to connect it to this video, it becomes easy to put thoughts into action. So I stopped lying to myself, saying that last night was what I wanted, and I'm sticking with it. I said what I said. Now, if you have a problem with what I did last night, because you did it along with me, because it takes two. You basically are not putting your thoughts and actions. If you thought you shouldn't be doing it, you still took the action on doing it. Let me give a more broader general thing before I close this up. Astro world, because this transit has been going on for like the last 2 3 days. They both came into, I think Mars was first and then Mercury, because Mars is a few minutes ahead of Mercury. But they came in pretty much back to back together in the sign of Scorpio, right? So it did start. I believe they came in because they're at the 6th degree right now. It came in like at the beginning of November, like around Halloween, end of October, beginning of November. Everybody knows about the Astroworld event. Okay, I didn't want to talk about this because it's like worn out already. It's only been 2 days. But they thought up that ritual, and it is a ritual. I don't care what you say and all that conspiracy junk. Like, people died. And even though people die every day, they don't die like that. So cut the conspiracy crowd, okay? But they thought that ritual up and took action on it. That's Mercury in Scorpio, conjunct Mars in Scorpio. Scorpio has to deal with the occult. Scorpio has to deal with deep darkness, secrets, psychology, brain stuff. Um, if I'm thinking correctly, and I'm hearing this because it's all kinds of clips all over the whole internet about this astro world fatality, fatalities. Um, 8 people died. The eighth house is the Scorpio house. The eighth house, and pause. Sorry that I'm going all over the place, but this is something I have to say. Your sun sign is just about you, the time you were born, and your overall personality. But who you really are is your rising sign. So rising signs are only found if you give the time of your birth so that it could tell where the houses are, which are your life purpose in astrology. Okay? The eighth house life purpose is to investigate, to study psychology, study relationships between people in the deepest, darkest, but not like evil dark, like this, the deepest, most intimate way. That's why we're the sex sign as well. That's why we represent the genitalia, because that is the deepest, darkest place of your body. And I'm tying in the number 8 with the 8 people that died at that show, at that ritual. Excuse me, because it was not a show. I mean, like, even before the show started, they were trampling over people. The energy was already there, okay? The eighth house, in its lower level, the purpose of the eighth house is to pull you out of them shadows, okay? Because when you think about the eighth house, when you think about any of the houses, it's a lesson. We can talk about this a little bit further in another situation when I break down houses a little bit more, but all the houses represent lessons that you either mastered or you need help on. Those 8 people needed help and they learned their lesson, unfortunately. I mean, it sounds really bad, y'all, the way I'm talking, but the only way we can get here is if we go through the rough parts here and leave this part here. The only way we can get here is if we deal with the rough parts here and not be down here. You want to get here. You don't want to stay here. And in between is a lot of rough area. So I'm talking rough because this is rough. This is a rough life every day, no matter what the transits are. And the only way you can get out of this rough life is to go this way, not this way. Wrapping this up. going back to the example, we totally ended our little meeting each other and knowing each other and even following each other online because the fool deleted me. I told him, like I've been telling everybody lately, I don't know everything, but I do know that keeping yourself down, being alone, thinking you can't do something is not the way to go. Okay? I know everybody can't be a big risk taker, but everybody cannot also be bottom of the barrel. You gotta get out. You gotta get out. Bottom of the barrel is not it. There's nothing good about bottom of the barrel. If there is something good about the bottom of the barrel, please put in the comments and let me know so I can correct myself. Otherwise, please know that I'm not trying to be harsh or insensitive. It's hard being it's hard being empathetic and giving hard truths at the same time. So I'm just gonna stick with the hard truths because that's what's gonna get us up here. There is no light down here. Crawl out of it. And no matter how hard it is to get out of it, deal with it. That is 8th house stuff. That is Scorpio stuff. That is Mars conjunct Mercury stuff. And that is me, TMZ, teaching everyone abundantly, empowering many. Zakia enlightening every day. This is Get a Life Astrology. Growing into divine adults and loving yourself forever. That fire burns. It feels good though. It feels good. Don't be scared of fire. Don't be scared of the water either.